Yo.
Don't talk back to your mama podcast.
Okay, ready? Let's go.
Yo, you ready?
Baby! Let's get it.
Yeah,
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Don't Talk Back to Your Mama podcast, where we share our views on being an entrepreneur family. I'm Latanya.
I'm Amari.
I'm Tiara.
So, how are you guys feeling right now?
Girl.
The wow.
Share with the people.
I'm feeling litty. I'm feeling a little tired, but I'm just happy that we're here and we're doing this, and it's just a great experience. So I feel really good, honestly.
You know, I think for me, I'm feeling like my age is catching up with me. Yeah, this was a lot today. You know, a lot goes into taping and doing this, for sure.
I'm definitely feeling it. I'm definitely a little tired. I did wake up really early this morning, which is very unusual.
Very unusual.
It's
I
early
went
for me.
I went to sleep really, really early last night because I wasn't having a good day yesterday, so I decided to go to sleep. And so then I woke up super, super early this morning, and I feel like now my body is telling me, girl, it's time to go to sleep. But we still got enough energy for
Finishing up.
Close it out.
And it's like last night taught me boundaries, because normally if you come in the house and you don't really have a conversation with me, you go in your room and close the door, I'm like, wait, what's wrong?
Yeah, Tiara walk in the room like, what's wrong with you? Get out of the bed. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, so
But no, last night I just needed to go in the house and go to sleep. Because I just felt like if I was up for another moment, I was going to explode.
Life is challenging. Like, you know, and a lot of things that we all experience is that it's not just things we're going through. It's the people around us that we care about and we love. So we take all of that into as well. So it's a lot.
I took a lot in yesterday. Way more than I was supposed to. Like how my mom told me.
Yeah,
She told me to take the days and take 2 at a time, and I took way more than 2 at a time yesterday, so I was just very overwhelmed.
I can see that. But yeah, I respected your boundaries. I was like, I ain't gonna go in there and bother her. She must have had a bad day. She just wanna go in her room and close the door. But yeah, it's hard because when you love people, you just wanna like overwhelm them with love and understanding, because like I know what it feels like to have a bad day, but you know, sometimes people just need their time.
They do.
So, quick question. So when you're overwhelmed and you're having a bad day, what would you like somebody to do?
It depends on the day. I'm so all over the place.
What do you mean?
Because sometimes I feel like when Tiara's having a bad day and I keep trying to talk to her, sometimes I feel like Tiara be ready to punch me in my face.
Wow. No, what it is some days I'm shut down. It's really crazy, and it's really like sad, but I'm not sad, but like it's so crazy how like I could be having a bad day and what I need is attention and love and caring, and then other days when I have a bad day is I shut down and I don't even have words to explain to someone how I feel or what I need. You know what I'm saying? So like it's not that I want to punch you in your face, it's that I can't express to you what I need from you, so just leave me alone, because I just don't want to say a fucking word. You know what I'm saying? And I go all over the place. I go up. I'm multi-spectral. Is that the word?
Yeah, that's our word.
Okay, multi-spectral.
I respect that. I can respect that.
And I think for me as a mother, I know when y'all going through something. So I ended up texting Mara last night, like, are you home? You're okay? You know, because I could just feel something. Same thing with Tiara. I just know. So even if I don't text you, I'll text Mari. You know, Tiara.
Very factual. Very.
I know when something's off with my children, and even if I ask Tiara, are you okay? What's going on? You know, and I know. So my go-to thing is I just start praying for y'all. And just asking God, you know, look over my children. God, just please lead them, protect them. You know, that's my go-to, because I know y'all are at an age now. Y'all not always going to listen to everything I say. So all I can hope is that my prayers is reaching you, and you guys are safe mentally, spiritually, and definitely physically. You know, that's important for me now at this age, because I can't come fight y'all battles. So I gotta let you guys live a little bit.
And what I always do is I think my main thing right now, in any mood, in any on any given day where there's an obstacle is I just pray for understanding.
Yeah.
Because in the end of the day, when you have understanding, you can move forward. When you're not understanding why all of these things are happening to you, why this person is doing this to someone I love, like when you don't have understanding, you're at a standstill. It's like you can't get past that, right? Yeah. So like, you know, when I'm having a bad day, I just pray for understanding. When I'm sad for somebody I care about, I just pray for understanding. When Mari's upset and she's having a bad day, I just pray for understanding that whatever she's going through, she's gonna get through it, and maybe she don't need me to do that.
And I think that's, we all just adopted prayer into our life and understand how important that is. Even if we're not holy, spiritual, not in church every Sunday, you know, all those things, we still have a belief that we know there's something that supersedes all of us and that's strong enough that will get us through whatever, you know, we're going through.
Right.
So I'm so appreciative of that. I think it took us all a while to get to that point.
Yeah.
And sometimes your way of dealing with things is physical, aggressiveness, you know, words, because we had it amongst each other. You like, oh my God. You know, so it's learning how to move through that so we don't hurt each other in the process of us hurting.
Yeah. And I think that's like what leads us into our topic, honestly, is just like our why. Like, why are we even doing a podcast? Like, I mean, it's an oversaturated business. It is, everyone is starting a podcast today. What makes us think that it's a good idea for us to jump up and decide to do it? I think my main thing is, I honestly think it's something we should have been did. Because I think that the way that we think, like, you're about to be 50, I'm 30, she's about to be 20. Like, we are really thinking on so many different levels that, like, the way that we communicate with each other is just so different in our opinions and how we deal with things. So yeah, we should have been did it, honestly. What's your why?
I think for me it was, I know my struggle sometimes being a mom, and then I was a young mom with Tiara, and then being a little older mom with Amari, was that there were times when I just didn't know, you know, what to do. I didn't have the answers. I didn't have the wisdom. And now I'm at a stage in my life where I have the wisdom. And it was important for me because I see the stories of the challenges that mothers have with their daughters and their sons. And not really knowing how to have those breakthroughs, how to have those conversations, how to get through to them and not know what's going on with them. And then it's just seeing the suicide rate, you know, of young adults. It's scary. And so I knew I had to do something different. I wanted to be able to provide a platform that we could have these conversations. I wanted us to kind of be, you know, be an influence, you know, to other families that you gotta start having the conversations. There is no perfect family. There is no perfect anything. We all got things going on in our lives, you know. So I just really wanted to be able to use our platform to be able to say, start having the conversations and leverage us, you know, to be able to do that. So I hope people begin to really write in, you know, comment, and just share, you know, their thoughts and feelings and what they're going through, because we're all human and we're gonna make mistakes. But you have to be willing to forgive yourself and ask for forgiveness and just be honest. Honestly say, I fucked up, I'm sorry. You know, all I can do is try to do better. Yeah. For me, that was,
which is why I love us, because I feel like we were really raw, really uncut, and just like to piggyback off of like what you said, like it was definitely like one moment in my like life where I was just like questioning everything, like questioning my existence and having the feeling of like not wanting to be here, or like feeling like all these different emotions. And I feel like I felt this way because I don't know how to communicate. I'm trying to learn how to like communicate my emotions and the way that I feel. So I feel like at first when y'all were like, oh yeah, like let's start a podcast and let's talk and entertain and educate. At first I was like this is crazy, this is insane, and this is definitely something that was just like very like uncomfortable for me at one point. But definitely like as time went on and we filmed multiple episodes and stuff like that, I can kind of see like where this podcast has helped me. So it's like, it's helped me learn how to communicate more. Like, of course we talk every day and whatever, but it, like, I never really like talked, and so I feel like being on this podcast, it's like helped me learn how to talk more, and helped me be more like communicative with you guys, and definitely like voice myself, because I definitely felt like at one point I was kind of like not heard. And not saying I wasn't heard because of others, but I wasn't heard because of myself. So that's definitely a very big why.
Okay. No, that's a great one.
I agree too as well, because like I say all the time, we weren't giving a roadmap or a book to say how to be a parent, and some of the stuff I had to figure out, on my own. And I had some great help, on the way. When they say it takes a village, it really does take a village. And for me growing up, it was our neighbors. We grew up in a neighborhood where everybody knew each other. I couldn't even walk outside without somebody saying, I'm gonna tell your daddy what you over there doing, You guys y'all didn't grow up really in that era.
And it's like, we really get to examine our emotional maturity. So it's like, with you may think that you did everything that you could to make the best decisions, and you were the best mom, which I do think you were amazing. But just talking within these past, we had like 12 episodes now? Just within these past episodes, it's just so funny of like how much more we could have talked, how much more you could have talked me through my emotions.
Yeah.
And I think that with us, we give a more up-to-date understanding of that, which is like, when it comes to your children, make sure they can verbalize their emotions from a toddler. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am so admirable. One of my friends, her daughter is spoiled. People may think her daughter is grown, She's maybe like 5 or 6, but she knows how to verbalize her feelings and her emotions, so she knows what's going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that comes from her raising her child in this generation versus, back then. So I think it's helpful for us to talk about our experiences, because it's not what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? There are still parents growing up, parents raising kids right now that need to hear this experience so they can start doing things a little bit differently.
And being okay with that, even as an age does not make you an adult. Mm-hmm. I think that just comes with time and experience and wisdom. Age doesn't define anything. I say it all the time, Marty is so mature sometimes for her age, like it's scary. And I think that as adults, we have to take that in and understand that we don't know everything, and we have to be open sometimes and being good listeners. That's one of the things for me now is I was always quick to say what I wanted to say and have my opinion, and not allowing you guys sometimes to talk. Because sometimes y'all just wanted to talk. Sometimes y'all just wanted to ear. Y'all just wanted me to listen, not always have something or come back or an advice. Or you should do this. Because Tara had even told me that the other day. She was like, Mom, I really don't need you to keep telling me the same thing over and over again. Sometimes I just need you to just be mom and just listen. So that's still, a work in progress for me, because I want to just say, this is how you do it and do it like this. But that's not fair. You have to really walk your own path.
Especially in an entrepreneurial family where you had your own entrepreneurial experience. And you have to allow me to have my own too, where it's like I kind of have to learn certain things. I'm gonna feel ego, pride, whatever. Started this, I say this like 100 times, like at 26 I may not have been as mature as Mari's gonna be at 22.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So at 26, I have my own trials and tribulations, and I need you to understand that my experience is going to be different from yours. My experience is going to be different from Mari's. Mari's going to start a business in some way. I know it. I feel it. Like, it's in my, like, I can feel it in my soul. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just like, listen to me sometimes. Let me tell you how I feel, and then give me your advice. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, I know it's so cliche at best, is we listen to respond instead of listening to comprehend and understand.
I agree with that.
That is like, it's like you say it a million times. I thought people say it a million times, but it's just so hard to actually do it. Like, it's hard for me to do it, so I know it's hard for anybody else to do it.
And I think it's important that I'm learning now is to lead by example. You know, I can't preach something that I'm not walking. I can't sit here and say do something that I'm not doing. And so that's why it's so important to me now. Because I get questioned now, I'm like, well, why you don't want to do that? Because my daughters are watching. That's so important to me. To let y'all down, to disappoint y'all, to not be there. Like, that's for now at this age, it's like, I want to make sure that I'm available. And I want you guys to see me and see that as an example. You know, for me growing up, our role models were in the house. And so it's so important for me to be a role model. You can have tons of others because there are going to be people you look up to, you respect. But it's important for me to lead by example. And that's the one advice I would tell parents is you got to walk and be the example. You can't be because I told you so or do what I told you to do. You have to do what you want them to do, but they have to be able to see it. You know what I mean? I don't want to be hypocrites. I don't want to be a hypocrite. And I think parents have to stop that. There's a whole new generation. We got to be open that things have changed. And the way things were done when we were growing up isn't going to be the same for you. So I think that's real. But you know, one of the things I want to know, how did we come up with this name? Because I didn't come up with it. So when people ask me, well, what does Don't Talk Back to Your Mama mean? Like, why did y'all come up with that?
Okay.
I have my thoughts. I have my thoughts, but I always want to know. Like, where do we get that from?
I thought that it should be something very natural to us. I thought it should be something very honest. My mom has said, I literally was one who was like, no, it has to be Don't Talk Back to Your Mama. Because literally my mom has said a million times, don't talk back to your mama. Or what was the other one that was torn in between? It was, what's the other one she said to us all the time? I can't think right now. It's like two phrases that I kept going back and forth with. And I was like, my mama always said, don't talk back to your mama. And
Because Tiara talks back to me.
Yeah, she's the most.
So, I just want to say one thing. I don't talk back to my mama. My mama used to tell me stuff. My mama tell me stuff. And I take in everything that she tells me. And if I have something to say about it, I would say it to myself in private. I would go vent to somebody else. But I don't know. It's like I don't want to say like me and Tiara are like polar opposites, but it's like I might, which is why I'm learning now. Tiara and me will be thinking one thing about something that you say, and Tiara will be the one that come to you and be like, well, Tanya, this is how we feel about this. Mom, this is how we feel about this. And Tiara would be the one that just say talk back to her mama and tell her mama how she feels.
Facts. That is true. We have definitely went through that process. There is
Okay,
no
say what you want to say.
but it's like, it comes from a deep, like, okay, so yeah, for sure. That's
For
number
sure.
one.
Okay.
Number two is I want to stop that. Like, I want to stop this whole like black moms know best, and you can never say nothing back, and you can never feel any other type of way. You can never have an emotion and have feelings about things or have an opinion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think like what made us so close, Mariah, is that like I always allowed you to have an opinion. I always understood where you were coming from. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just think that I hope black moms going forward are just more understanding to children. Just like and it's sad that we keep comparing it to white people or whatever. But it's like with maybe white families and stuff like that, kids are allowed to have an opinion. Kids are allowed to talk back a little bit because it's like, okay, you can't take away their feelings and mom, let me stay. Like even just like it's the smallest thing, right? I saw like a family on like TikTok or whatever, and the mom was just saying like, what's wrong? Tell me how you feel. Tell me your emotion. Is your emotion sad? Is your emotion mad? Is your emotion frustrated? Right. There is so many words to describe how you feel. And I think with Black parents, they don't allow their children to go through those emotions and come up with the word that describes it. I am sad, Mom, because what you're saying to is making me feel uncomfortable, or it's making me feel like you're not listening to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that don't talk back to your mom, and to deep rooted to me is more so let your children have a thought, an emotion, or feeling, whatever. I love don't talk back to your mom because to me it means my mom always said don't talk to me, don't talk back to me, whatever. I hope that the next generation of kids feel comfortable saying, Mom, I feel sadness because this is how you're making me feel. Don't say this to me because this is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
does it make sense?
No, it does.
Oh,
because the part is that we grew up in an era where we were told, do it because I told you to do it. Don't question me. Just do as you're told. You know what I mean? So we grew up in that. So for me, it was unlearning that and relearning that I have to adapt other ways to be able to communicate. And I have to understand a part of communication is listening. Listening is key. And I had to learn, and I was listening to TDJ saying the same thing. And he preaches that all the time, that we have to get out of that. Like, that is not the solution. You know, the answer isn't it's my way or the highway, right? I know I heard that growing up. It's my way or the highway, or you can get out of my house. And I knew that that's what I learned. So it took a lot for me to unlearn. And I think for me it was when it got to a point that, you know, I would see y'all faces and y'all might have been disappointed or, you know, unheard, or, you know, your actions was like, oh my God, did I create that? It took me a long time to realize that I was part of the problem. So I think that, oh Lord, thank you for growth and being open to that. So if anything, I hope that parents take away from this is you gotta sit and have a conversation with your kids. People say all the time, y'all are so close. Oh my gosh, y'all are always together. You know, I've never seen, you know, where you got some of your friends may say, you know, I'm not that close with my parents. Like, you know, you guys are, you know, with me. And I think it's just because of the work that I was willing to do. Because for me, growing up without my mom was enough for me to understand that I want to make sure my kids know they can count on me and depend on me, and I'm gonna listen to them. May not like what they say, I don't always agree, but I have to be okay with that, because that's the hardest part. And then not just being there for you guys, being there for your friends and, you know, people that's in your life that may not have that, because that's so important. So I think for me that was the change and that was the shift. Yeah, for sure. This shit is crazy.
Yeah, right. Like, it's so
crazy. And I promise you, you know, my message for the parents is just listen to your kids. You may not like what they say. You may not like how it feels. You may feel like I'm the parent, so you're gonna do what I say. Yeah. But that method is not gonna work. If you do not get in tune with your children and be okay with them making mistakes and getting it wrong. You know, sometimes when y'all had messed up, y'all just wanted a hug. Y'all didn't want to hear a lecture.
Because I did this not to be disobedient or to be defiant or to go against the rules of the law or whatever. It's more so I did it because I wanted to fit in. Because I feel left out. Because I'm sad. Because I'm insecure. There's so many deep-rooted issues with children that I think that could have been resolved had we not come into it with that such harsh mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, trauma is real. Trauma is real. Depression
is real, and if you don't figure out how to attack it, you'll lose your children. Yeah. And so for me, that wasn't an option. You know, so, you know, what Mario, you talked about earlier on a prior episode, you talked about being in therapy and how it makes you feel. I was so excited when you go to therapy. Like, how did it go? What was the conversation? And when you said I cried today, I was just like, why? And I was like, well, that's beautiful. Because that's okay to be able to express your emotions, that way. So I think starting this podcast was definitely all those things, but I think it was also too, we wanted to use our platform because I know y'all hear it all the time. We're an entrepreneur family. My daddy started it, so I might as well keep it going. And it was important for us to use this platform to show that we as African Americans, our parents can leave something down to us. My dad left a business down to us. It wasn't a successful business, but it was a business that we were able to take and run with. And I think that I wanted this platform to be an opportunity for us to be able to allow other entrepreneurs to come on and tell their story. We didn't have the glamorous start. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like, oh, I got an inheritance. I'm going to start. No, we didn't. If that wasn't the case, we were still broke. But we took what we had and we kept going. I'd rather just kept going and going and going. I'd take every dollar I had and put into it, We just put everything we had into it, and look what God has blessed. An opportunity to be able to employ so many people, for all of us to be able to eat and be able to start other businesses. So for me, that was so important for us to see that I could hand the baton and Tia runs with it. But people call me about, I said, I don't know nothing about that stuff. I don't have no interest. Girl, go talk to Tiara. That's not don't call me about that. I love that. And then to see how well you've done, like, oh my God, it's just a proud moment.
And then I'm the generation in between. So what is it like, Gen Z? Am I Gen Z?
What are you? Mari, you
know.
I'm Gen Z.
You're Gen Z, so I am.
What is she? X? What is Mari? Tiara?
No. I'm a millennial. I'm a millennial.
Yeah.
So like, as far as like being a millennial, I think that what I bring to the podcast is, as I was growing up, it wasn't cool, or it wasn't a thing for you to not go to college. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Yeah. So like, I'm turning 30, and I know people who are in my age group. Going to college was a non-negotiable. People were sending you to college.
Yeah.
And then you have the generation after me where nobody's forcing them to college.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying, oh, you gotta be a doctor, lawyer, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The generation under me is the people that are getting rich off of fucking social media and YouTube. Yeah, bro. It's like almost like, it's so crazy thinking about it. It's like I low-key get a little jealous, but at the same time, this is just my perspective. It's just what I'm going through. Like, I didn't know I could be a business owner until I was 26. That is what it is. But there are people growing up right now, and at 21, 22, 25, they know that they're probably going to be a business owner. They don't even need college to do anything. But the generation before me forced us to college. And everybody I know, my friends, whatever.
And I think the only reason I'm still an advocate for college. Mm-hmm. I think that while you're trying to figure out what you want to do, if you don't know what you want to do, get as much education as you can. Mm-hmm. Don't be crazy with it. You don't want to rack up $60,000 or $100,000 in student loans, but go to fill the areas where you have gaps. And utilize that time to figure out what it is you want to do. Study different things and figure out what your thing is while you're in the midst of that. Because if you're not an entrepreneur, if you're not going to be working every day, then you got to be doing something. So at least pursue your education. I do think that business classes, different things like that are helpful, and it contributes to the business. I say this all the time about Trey. Boy, get your degree so you can help the family. Take whatever you learn in school up there in North Carolina and bring it back and adapt it into the business until you figure out where you fall. Tiara, you are a different breed. Like, you're just a different breed. You know what I'm saying? You felt real fun. You felt for the fruit, like for the tree for me. You knew. Like, you were different. Mm-hmm. Your experiences and what you were exposed to were different than what Mari was exposed to. That's all I'm trying to say. You saw me hustling it early.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
So you saw some different stuff. That's all I'm saying. And you picked up on some different things.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like I said, them generations is great. The way they broke that thing down, millennial versus Gen Z versus baby boomer.
Gen X. So like baby boomers to the Gen X.
We're all so different.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that's so real. But I think that it's important to know that you can take your skills and your experience and what you know, and you can go out here and work for yourself and be able to make a living. We created that. That we showed that now that's possible. So I think that that's why they're doing it. It's not just here. They woke up one day and said, "Oh, I can, use." No, they saw that it was possible. Because think about it. Mark Zuckerberg, when he started Facebook, girl, we had already showed that you can use social media before y'all came into the play, baby. Okay, so let's keep it real. They were in college,
y'all.
Yeah, so he was in college and he created the
But that's still my generation, and then it boomed from that.
maybe not. I don't know about that.
I said all these people are doing these things in my generation, and then for the next generation, it just started like taking off. That's how I feel.
Right, because I know some people that were part of Tiara's generation that there are some people that are Tiara's age that started doing YouTube back when they were younger. And those people right now, they live off of millions off of doing YouTube and playing video games and just vlogging their life, their family, da-da-da-da. And then it just came to my generation where it was like, all right, well, we're going to use YouTube, we're going to use this, we're going to use TikTok, we're going to use this, and we're going to use Instagram, and we're going to make as much money as possible.
Yeah, I feel like they took off.
Y'all took it and ran with it. Absolutely. Because I was in my 30s when I really started utilizing social media to the max. So that's fair. Because before that, we were grassroots. You had to just get out there and talk to people. You just had to, go to people's businesses and say, hey, I'm doing this. And we had to do a lot of selling. Selling ourselves in person. Versus you have to click a button. And everybody can see.
So definitely, like my generation, we didn't make social media. We weren't the ones that's out here that made Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and MySpace, and all. We didn't make none of that stuff. Yeah. We just learned how to utilize these things and take that and go up from there.
And I really want people, as we're getting to a closure on this, what I want, RVA, DMV to do is, let's support each other. Because the more people that come on our podcast and share their stories and things like that, we'll be going on theirs, or so we support their businesses. One of the things I will say we're really good at is we support Black-owned businesses. We put a lot of money back into the community, and what I hope that we can use our platform for others to come on and share their story, have laughs with us, smoke some hookah with us, drink some, just come and enjoy the environment with us and share your story. It's not about, worried about what everybody else is doing. Come and support, get on our platform. If you want to be a part of this podcast, reach out to us. And then even if you're interested in just advertising or being a sponsor, reach out to us, because that's how we all begin to grow. We have to continue to recycle our money in our own communities. And this is the only way we can do it. And the only way we can be successful is helping each other.
And working together.
The new currency is collaboration. Sharing our platform, combining platforms, things like that. That's one thing I used to tell her about, her generation in this industry. Y'all support each other a lot. Yeah, that's real talk.
Yeah.
So I hope they get the message.
This was our why.
Our why. Why is this important to us?
Okay, but we didn't touch on?
Yeah.
Why did we choose to make this podcast about the three of us? Like, obviously we could have included other people, and this couldn't have just been a podcast about us, because we know a whole bunch of entrepreneurs and blah 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 blah. But why did we choose to make this about us?
Why? I honestly think I probably wouldn't have did it with anyone else, because I have the most honest and most loving relationship with you guys, as far as like how we communicate with each other. I have the most transparency with you guys. Like, I couldn't imagine doing it with anybody else. There's nobody else I could even think of that fathom that is gonna understand, but still at the same time have a different opinion. You get what I'm saying? Like, we have so many different opinions on things, but we're open to each other's opinions.
Right, because the idea of doing a podcast was your idea.
Absolutely.
And you have more than just been like, all right, well, you guys, I'm going to start a podcast, and this is going to be the podcast about me. Why did you decide that you wanted to include us?
Oh, period.
Because
different.
my shirt, I think, tells it all. I'm all about legacy and I'm all about wealth. And I know the only way to create wealth is to make sure that we're doing it together. You know, it takes families to build something to be able to pass on to the next generation. And this show was so important for me to do with you guys because I didn't just want to be a person out here talking about, oh, we need to. I'm not a person on social media just saying, oh, legacy this, wealth this, to make $1. I really do this because it's in my heart. You know, I think I talked about my goals in one of our episodes. My goals are my family goals. And so, before I go out here trying to save the world and encouraging the world and motivate the world and helping other people start businesses, I wanted to do it with you guys first. Like, what greater joy is to be able to do that with my children? And I wanted you to be able to have a platform too where you can begin to grow into who you are. And I think that it started with this. There's nobody else that could sit on this podcast with me other than you two. And I think you guys trust me and I trust you. And we have each other's best interests at heart. It's never about just me. It's never just about Tiara. It's never just about you. We equally have each other's best interests at heart. And for me, that's what it was about. Being able to show that families can work together. Some challenges. But in order, if you're really talking about building wealth, if you're really talking about building a legacy, it starts with your children. You can't do this skipping over your children. You know, what Tiara does is a reflection of me. Plus, when I get older and I get into that upper age, I need y'all to be able to take care of me. But yeah, all those things. But really, it was about being an example of building wealth and building a legacy, what that looks like.
Definitely, because I definitely think before we started this that I wasn't in tune to building a legacy and building wealth and doing that with your family. But I definitely feel like after starting the podcast, like it makes me want to have that, build that legacy, like, you know, for when I have kids or whatever happens. It makes me, like, having this platform makes me want to, like, I've always been like a very secretive and like private person, sneaky, and now I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I want to like share my story. Like, I feel like I want to do this with you guys, and I want to share my story like on all platforms. Like, I want to tell everybody, like, I feel like everybody's like, oh my god, like, you guys were like handed this, like, from your parents. Like, Tiara's never tell you everything. Like, but people don't know, like, people do not know. They don't know half of our story at all.
Yeah.
They don't.
And they say the same thing about my brother. They're like, oh, my dad didn't know. That's not how it happened. We grew into this business. Yeah. We took on this business because my dad got sick, and that was always my dad's vision, though. He wanted me to work and join the family business. Like, that was really his vision. But the reality is, that wasn't my goals at the time. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And I love my daddy to death, but I wanted my corporate career. I was successful. So it was scary going into something I knew anything about. So, you know.
And let's not get it twisted. Hard work from every step in it. There has not been one time where I felt like anything was handed to me. Like, I really, like,
so you had help.
No, I'm saying no.
I didn't just say.
No. So I wish I could reference the TT episode because I don't know when we're gonna air it. I don't know when this episode is gonna come out, when the next episode's gonna come out.
Yeah.
But TT will tell you, you didn't even want me to do this.
He did not.
I literally had to start from just running through the club to then waitressing to then bottle girl to then like you were like people understand, and then people come into this and they're like, oh, I just seen a bartender. No, sis, you gotta run these dishes real quick. You need to start cleaning these dishes first and then start doing the next step. You know what I'm saying? So I just hate that people people think that, oh, you just wake up and you're gonna own a bar because your parents own a bar. That's stupid. I literally had to do everything that you could possibly think of, and people still put me to the test, and people still, you know what I'm saying, doubted me.
Discredit you.
Yeah, and then you still have to learn how to be a leader. You had that being a leadership is not something you just wake up tomorrow and you just have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that people are crazy for thinking that anything could just be passed down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's even talk about people who come from money. I don't care how much money you come from.
Exactly.
A work ethic is something you have to get up and you have to apply every single day. It's so many people that come from money that have nothing. It will literally be the laziest people.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And go through the money and fumble it.
Yeah. You really have to get up and you have to do this every day. Every day there's a different obstacle that you may not have saw coming. And your parents are not always going to be there to help you and pick you up and tell you what you're supposed to do. Like, that's what irritates me about people sometimes with that whole thing. I might have gone on a little rampage. I was upset. All right, go ahead. We done. Let's
I am thankful, that we did this. I appreciate you guys just going with my vision, even when you were unclear, what it looked like and was outside of your comfort zone, and just trusting me. And I just think that that's the key to all of it. You gotta allow everybody to be themselves. People will say, oh my God, Tiara is this, or oh my God, y'all are exposing Mari too much. No, Mari makes her own decisions still at the end of the day. This was a choice. This wasn't forced. And I want people to understand that. So yeah, I just thought this was a good opportunity to just have transparency and just really have a conversation, because I think that's the buzz in everybody's ears, like, what's their why? Why are they doing this? And I see big things to come, in regard to this, and I'm just happy that we have a great person who's supporting us with this podcast that believe in us and know that boy, they gotta get ready for what's about to come. We're just getting started. And guys, God, we gotta close out. It's been a long freaking day. A long day.
How you gonna close out? So something in my
toast first.
Oh, okay.
That's toast. Like, seriously, I really just want to toast to don't talk back to your mama about that.
To your mama. And you know what? I don't even know if I want to do one thing that your mom told you.
What do you want to do?
But I think, honestly, I want to do it honestly. Because I want to touch back on something that we started talking about in the beginning of the podcast today. And we were talking about prayer and praying for each other and things like that. But I just feel like, honestly, I want to start praying more. I feel like you said earlier, you don't have to go to church every day to pray and believe in whatever it is that you believe in. Because at the end of the day, everybody can believe in whatever it is that they want to believe in, whether it's God or whether it's some other higher power or something like that. But definitely, honestly, I want to start praying more. I definitely want to start incorporating prayer into my life every day. Just because I definitely think that it helps, it works, and whether it's you believe in you doing this prayer is helping you, or whether it's not, I just feel like staying consistent, because that was my problem. I felt like, okay, I would pray, and I'd be like, okay, I pray for this stuff, and I just feel like, oh my God, there's still things in my life where it's going wrong. The prayer that my mom keeps telling me to do is not working, and I feel like it's all about being consistent about this prayer. I feel like I pray, I stop, I pray, I stop, and I feel like if I'm consistent, it'll guide its way. And I feel like I've been being more consistent recently, and I feel like my life has been more on track than it has been my entire life. So that's my honest today.
Yes, I love that. Honestly, what, Tiara?
I don't know. I'm gonna piggyback on hers. And it's sometimes it's not about even praying to God. Sometimes it's I'll just start, I'll wake up in the morning and I'll wake up with anxiety, and I'll wake up with fear, and I don't know how I'm gonna start my day. day or how I'm going to get through the day. And I just start writing in the notes on my phone like, God, please remove this fear from my heart. God, this is what's scaring me. Give me the strength to just like get through this. Like, these are my tasks for the day. And like, that's been helping me a lot. Like, not using, I know it sounds crazy, not using scriptures or videos or anything on YouTube, but it's just like telling God what I'm afraid of and just asking Him to guide me through what I'm trying to do. I have good intentions, and every day I literally write in my notes, like I have 100 notes right now at this point, just saying like, God, I'm at your mercy. You get what I'm saying? Like, be there with me so that I can understand where I'm going, and stuff like that. So yeah, honestly, I just want to keep doing that. I just want to keep being consistent, because that's what makes me feel good. That's what makes me feel good. Like, I go into my day, I might cry while I'm writing this note in my phone. I might burst out in tears, but like, I feel so much better afterwards. And honestly, I just hope I can be consistent in that, because after that, I feel so much better.
And honestly, for me is, prayer only works if you do the work.
Yeah.
So for me, honestly, we have to do the work. You can't pray for $1 million, but you're not doing the work to obtain it, or anything that you want to do. And so for me, honestly, I just put into the universe that we learned that we have to do the work. And you have to get up every single day with discipline and routine to do the work. And when Martin's here talking about consistency and discipline, those are the things that contribute to the results at the end of the day. And like, I honestly, you have to feed yourself what you want to produce. So if you want to be a good person, you got to be around good people. If you want to be positive, you got to be around the next positive person. If you want to be the next millionaire, you got to be around people who know how to make $1 million. You honestly got to make sure that whatever the goal is, you're willing to do the work to get there, and that you're putting in the work to get the results. So yeah, I love this. Oh my God, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was our why. This episode was all about our why. Why did we do this in the first place? Why did we decide to do this? And why this was important to us? So we want to close out and say thank you so much for continuing to view, subscribe, like, and please comment, and then write into as well and tell us what you're thinking. If there's something you want us to talk about, let us know. But most importantly, guys, don't talk back
to your mama.
Podcast.